Yo! This could be a creepy edition of Ask the Boss. This is episode number 12. We're in a sushi place and they put us in a special room, but it's not soundproof, so we can't be very loud. And no one's in here. It's 4:30 in the afternoon, but it's still very creepy. I want to do a little shout out to the crew here. Can we get Meaty Thighs to handle the camera? So today was our first Nutrition Corners Manage meeting. This is Jay Bach, Meaty Thighs, Captain Crush It.
Carl.
Yo.
Yeah.
What is Jeremy's name?
I don't got a special
Jay
name.
Hall, Mr. Warehouse
Jody
Manager,
Sanchez.
Warehouse bod.
And DDRC. So these are the Nutrition Corner managers of our current 5 stores. We're about to sign a lease, hopefully on store number 6 in Richmond. So anyways,
SPNC.
on to business. Meaty Thighs, give us the questions.
Okay. First question.
Oh, and do you like the horses?
I feel like Rudy Good
This is
wants to ask a
symbolism.
question.
This is symbolism to something I can't talk about right now, but maybe one day. How's it going?
Hey guys, what's going on?
The waiter is here. We'll take 7 waters with lemon.
Thank you. Yeah, back.
I just ordered for everyone. I don't know if that's
He's totally booked out right now.
Okay, we're still filming. All right, let's roll.
Keep it rolling. All right, question number 1. Rudy Good has a question. Go. Ask it. You know what it is.
Creatine monohydrate versus HCl. Is there a difference?
That HCl Australian crap. Oh, it's terrible. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there is a difference. So I'm a firm believer in creatine monohydrate. It's the most studied version of creatine. That's what I use. That's what I recommend all my clients and customers to use. However, there are a lot of gimmick forms out there that have been shown to be no better or actually they're not effective forms of creatine ethyl ester. There's buffered forms of creatine. There's liquid creatine, which is complete crap. Creatine HCl, I would say, is probably the one other form of creatine, which I think is good. It's I recommend it for people who don't respond to creatine monohydrate. And the nice thing about it is you don't need such a big dose, so you don't need 5-10 grams a day. 2-3 grams is enough. I don't think it's any better. It's way more expensive. So yeah, I'm a creatine monohydrate believer.
Right on. Ready?
Yeah,
Next question.
roll.
Dominate Science Passion wants to know what are tips for being more productive during the day? Help them out.
Tips to being more productive during the
Get off
day.
Instagram.
Don't play video games if you're a grown-ass man.
Hey, that was Captain Crush It there. No, so this is something we talk about in our gains tour, and that is this goes to going 120 or crushing it, and what I mean by that is like when you're focused on doing something, give that thing your full attention. Most people who try to multitask are wildly unsuccessful about it, and there's a lot of studies that actually show that most people can't multitask. Only a few percentage of people can successfully multitask, and I think people are trying to do too many things at once. So when we are doing these tours, we talk about, one of the things we talk about is balance, and that is when you're focused on work and you're doing work, focus 100% on that thing that you're trying to achieve. Don't try to do that and X, Y, and Z at the same time. And it's same as when you're trying to spend quality time with your family. Get off your phone, get off social media. It's the same thing. Focus on, that portion of your life. So I don't know if there's a specific answer to that, but it's whatever you're doing at that period of time, focus 100% on that. And you'll create more time in the day because you will become more efficient.
Okay. Menus are arriving. All right, Tyler FUCHS. I don't want to. It sounds like a bad word. Anyways, would doing a powerlifting cycle, say 12 to 14 weeks, have a positive impact for somebody who's bodybuilding?
Possibly, sure. I always tell people to try to mix things up. And actually powerlifting will give you that great base. I mean, I would ask him really where he is in how far along he is in his kind of lifting career or his lifting life. And I think powerlifting plays a big part in it. It's certainly not going to hurt you. I still strongly believe that more hypertrophy-specific, high-volume, non-powerlifting type of training, but still incorporating the compound movements is the most effective way to build muscle for bodybuilding. So, go ahead and try it. At the end of the day, building strength, they're directly related to, building muscle. It's kind of hard to put on a ton of strength without at least putting on a little size. So I say go for it.
All right on. Sup Cincinnati, what's your best source of antioxidants to prevent cell and DNA damage? Do you prefer pill or powders? Or natural sources?
I don't really think it matters in terms of the pills versus powders. I mean, I guess some people feel that powders are directly absorbed more, but what's going on? See these guys?
Focus.
Focus. Anyways, so I take a number of different antioxidants. I'm, taking them really throughout the day. I have a big dose in the morning. I take a multivitamin. I just take a standard kind of male multi. It's not whole food based or anything like that. I don't really think they are any different than regular synthetic vitamins. Right, Captain Crush It?
Again?
Nothing, never mind.
No. What's the question?
No, there's no question. You can watch the video. You can watch the playback. And high dose of vitamin C. I actually do take some vitamin E, although it's probably not necessary. CoQ10. So I'm taking multiple antioxidants. I have pretty much an unlimited supply of supplements, so I know it's not in everyone's budget to do that. But I think some basics, especially a high dose of vitamin C, a good multivitamin, stuff like that. If you're eating well, you're eating a number of greens throughout the day. I think you probably don't need a ton of those, but I still think there is some benefits to that.
Okay, Alex Farnum is really, really excited about Core Tests, and he just wants an update. Can we get an update?
Yeah, so we found a new supplier for the one raw material that was giving us terrible taste. It tastes way better. I mean, it's tremendously better. We're still tweaking the flavoring just slightly, but we did find a winner. That batch of that raw material is in customs right now. And as soon as it's cleared, we're going to go into production. I'm really hoping for, don't quote me on this, but I'm saying 4 weeks. I really think we can get it done in 4 weeks or less. So this is an awesome product. I'm really excited about this. I still think Alpha is an incredible product, but I think it's even going to be better than Alpha.
Woo! Strong statement. Can't wait. All right. TL Hess 22, do you increase your intake of BCAAs as contest prep progresses to prevent muscle loss while calories are very low?
Sometimes slightly, but I'm taking so many BCAAs really throughout the growth season that I don't. What I tell people is, so there's some debate whether or not BCAAs have calories or not. At the end of the day, they really do. It's an amino, it's a protein source. The FDA doesn't make you put those calories on the label. So what I tell people is their amino acids, when they're starting their diet, when they're counting calories and hitting their macros, start with your set amount of BCAAs and use that as your baseline. So I'm using 1 to 2 scoops of ABC before my workout, 2 scoops during, and 5 scoops in a gallon throughout the day. So I'm using, let's say, 9 scoops at Core ABC a day. That's 45 grams of BCAAs or something like that. So if that's my baseline, I might add an extra 1 scoop or something when I get to the real far, recesses of prep. But in general, I'm keeping that pretty basic because at the end of the day, I feel like there is some caloric value to those. I don't track them. I don't think it's worth tracking. It's just the same thing as like using Splenda packets that have 4 calories. Just if you start your diet and you're using 5 packets a day, just continue to use 5 packets and then you control your macros in other areas. So I really don't increase that much.
Okay. Taylor Gatt, do you have a favorite hype song before a heavy lift?
R. Kelly usually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of funny. I joke about that, but I like a little bit of a slower music before a big lift.
I agree.
I think sometimes really hype music like Megadeth and all that stuff, I get so hyped up that I get winded before my set.
Yeah.
So I try to calm down a little bit before a big set. So I try not to use crazy music.
Okay.
This music would be perfect.
Hey, this is elevator.
Right here,
What's
this
your
elevator music would be perfect for a heavy set of squats.
Fam Fitness, what's your opinion on reducing caffeine intake to loosen up overall cortisol levels 1 to 2 weeks pre-show in hopes of reducing stress water weight?
I honestly don't think it's going to make those last 2 weeks when you're feeling like death. I would rather have that caffeine to help me get through my workouts, have more effective workouts, and really survive than the negative effects, or I should say the positive effects of maybe reducing your stimulant level. I mean, at that point, you're in survival mode. I'm a big proponent of watching caffeine, but less, in not going too excessive. I just keep it just pre-workout, maybe the occasional Monster here and there, but usually just pre-workout. But when I'm in the last 2 weeks before prep, screw that. All that goes out the window. Like I'm taking whatever caffeine that's going to get me through the day. So for me personally, I don't think you're going to see a huge difference from that. Plus, I take Core Hard, in a high dose, which is a great anti-cortisol product. So yeah.
Insert plug. Okay. Potato chip brown.
What should we order for sushi, by the way?
All of it. The big boat.
All of it?
Yeah.
I'll take 3 boats.
Is there a boat? We're just gonna go boat? Just go crazy?
I don't know, man. I haven't looked at the menu. I've been so busy asking you questions.
I can tell you one.
I could eat some more sashimi.
I can tell you one that Sweet Cheeks and I have ordered it.
Sweet cheeks.
I thought I was your sweet cheeks.
Whoa.
Oh, here we go.
All right, let's do 2 more.
2
So
more.
we can order.
Perfect.
Give us 2 minutes. Yep.
What is with the ban on 7 keto DHEA and natty federations? You don't like that one?
That's a great question. I don't know. Ask about-
When natural feds ban natural subs, then what are they? Supernatural feds?
Great.
That's pretty good.
That's actually a good one.
So, I've stated this before. I don't believe that WADA is the right standard for natural bodybuilding. I think that's just not a realistic standard. I don't think it was designed for bodybuilding. Now, some people will disagree with that, and that's fine. And the people that compete in WADA only organizations, just make sure you're following the rules. Don't use products with 7 keto. I think 7 keto, and really 7 keto, it's not, and its derivatives, or I should say its metabolites, are proven safe, proven effective. They don't bind androgen receptors. They don't give you false positives on urine tests. There's nothing that really should be a problem here, and that's why organizations like the WPA, NBF use some intelligence and guidelines in creating their banned substance list. They don't just blindly follow an organization without looking at the science behind it. They use some logical reasoning here, and so I think it's ridiculous that it's banned. But if organizations want to ban it, that's their decision. And as a competitor, you have a choice where you can compete. I'm still going to take Core Alpha, even though as of, I guess, July 1st, the WNBF doesn't allow it, which really makes completely no sense. And I honestly think that, that might eventually one day change. And I think there's been some feedback from competitors that they feel strongly that they should be allowed to take that ingredient. And a lot of those people that might have been WNBF are going to be lost to the IFPA. So you have a decision where you can compete as a natural athlete. Just make sure you're following the guidelines of the organization where you want to compete, and go for it. One more.
High carb life. This is another ingredient question that's kind of banned.
High what?
High carb life. That's his name.
Oh.
What's your opinion
I was
on
like, I never heard of that
DMAA?
supplement.
What's your opinion on DMAA or whatever the name is now?
So, that's a good question. I love DMAA. I think it's great. I think it's an amazing feeling. And right now, the FDA basically can come in and, they feel that it's not a dietary supplement, so they have told people to stop manufacturing. There are some companies out there that are fighting that. High Tech is fighting it. They're actually in a lawsuit right now against the FDA for banning that ingredient. There's different reasons for why it was banned, whether or not it was synthetic or versus a naturally occurring ingredient. There's NDIs and all sorts of complicated legal things in the supplement industry of whether or not an ingredient is legal or not. But one of the main kickbacks from this is people were saying it was unsafe, which is complete BS, because if you look at any of the adverse effects that have been reported based on DMAA usage, it's like, I think USP Labs put a study out showing that there was over 1 billion doses of this, or servings of DMAA taken, and there was literally like less than a handful of adverse effects, and all those adverse effects were taken into places where, dehydration was a big factor, excessive heat, just like any other stimulant. It could have been, not directly correlated or related to the DMAA usage. So the showing that it's unsafe, I haven't seen that information, but until there's a definitive law on it, as a supplement company owner, we're certainly going to stay away from it. because it's not been, validated as, illegal by the FDA. I like the product. I think it gives a great feeling, but at the end of the day, we have to play by certain rules. And, in terms of being a banned substance, I think it's not going to give anybody, as a bodybuilder, it's not going to give anybody bigger biceps or a bigger chest to get on stage. It's not like a steroid or anything like that. It might make your dieting a little bit easier, but it's not going to create an unfair advantage. So from that perspective, I don't know if it should necessarily be banned, from natural bodybuilding, but, I think there's a lot of what is the term, politics, surrounding that ingredient. Same with like amp citrate.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago did it stop recording this?
I think it just now happened.
All right. So anyways, thanks for following us, guys. Till next time, keep crushing it.